Hello, welcome. This is a redstone tutorial for an item roulette game for Minecraft. You just pick up a piece of grass or like any item of your choosing. Just make sure you tell them you have to put a very valuable item. Eventually they'll figure it out and the thing gets filled with junk. Anyways, I press the button. Gambling starts. You press the button. Okay, we actually won something that time. Last time I ran this, we did not work. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this. So, way it works is that whenever you put an item into the dropper, it puts in the hopper. This thing sees an item go through here. It activates this thing right here, which will put an item in here. Disable all this, let the games run, and then when you press the other button, it activates this one right here, and it stops. And then we just have like a kind of like a redstone clock running here. I'll explain this later. But there's two sets of materials, the required materials and the optional materials. The optional materials is just all this up here plus this bell. But the required materials is just to make the game work. So what we have is 18 hoppers, 21 redstone dust, 3 droppers, 2 oak buttons, or 2 buttons if you're choosing really. 1 barrel. I just recommend a barrel. You can use a chest if you want. 1 sticky piston. The oak planks are just a block of your choice, but it has to be solid. So I don't want to be seeing no slabs or glass or like any weird blocks like that. I want to see wood, wool, dirt, any block, any very common block. I don't want to be seeing no chests now. You'd be crazy to do that. So first we're going to start off with this section down here. It's very simple. It's quite literally just piston, barrel right here, 2 spaces in front of the piston, dropper right here, and then we're going to place one of our optional blocks right here. And this will come very handy later. And then we're going to use an oak button to activate the piston. And then we're going to break it. Okay. And that's this step done. That is to get this system running, so that way this hopper gets out the way while the game is running. And now these hoppers. Now you can use more hoppers if you want. You'll just have a bigger ring. But I like this layout of a 4x5 rectangle. So connected to this right here, we're gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Alright, that's not 5. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 because we already have 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 3. And then we're gonna finish off the ring. Now we want to make sure all these hoppers are connected to each other. That's why we went in that ring pattern. And now we're gonna line the top with redstone dust. This will make sure that when we're done, there's redstone dust is going to be activated. It'll make the item stop spinning, because if I were to put an item in right now, every once in a while you'll see it like pop up for a second. Now I'm going to grab this button back because I do kind of need that. Thank you. So the rest of this just makes it stop spinning when this piston gets pushed. Okay, and now the next section is detecting whether the game is running or not using these dispensers, not dispensers, droppers. We're going to use droppers, comparators, and one of the blocks of your choice. So on the very edge here, we're going to place 2 blocks of our choice, and we're going to have 2 droppers facing each other. Now I would use a copper bowl, but that just makes things a bit more complicated. To me at least. So we'll be using droppers instead for this one. And then right here, we're going to put a comparator and a piece of redstone. And then we're going to add 2 more hoppers, one that connects to the ring and the other one that connects to the hopper. Actually, I think we're adding 3 more hoppers. Yeah, 3 more hoppers. Then you're going to add a block there. Dispenser goes there, or a dropper, not dispenser. It's very important that's a dropper. And then now we have these hoppers connected to this ring. Now, if you're more sophisticated than me at redstone and knows how to make an organization system, you can have it check which items go through and have it select a few. I'm just not that good at redstone. And now, this is not going to activate this. So, I can't remember what we do here. We're going to have it, we're going to put one of these items here. Right now, the game, we'll have the game like put in finish, so we'll take a repeater, put it here. Dust, dust, and then block. We're not going to finish it off because if we put a dust here, it's not going to activate this right here and start the game. Alright, now from here, we're going to put a redstone comparator that remains active. This is to boost the signal. And then finally, a piece of redstone dust that gets this up and running. And then right under here, since this is why I asked for solid blocks, because a hopper is a transparent block, which means this will happen. The dust will go from the top to here to down. It won't actually disconnect like it would on a solid block. Look, I'll demonstrate here. So with the solid block, they place it here, it disconnects. So that's just, that comes very handy when making stuff compact. And then we're going to activate the piston with the same redstone dust. So now that we have everything to hook up to start the game, now we need to hook stuff to finish the game. So we're going to add a block with a button here. And then we're going to go over here, crouch, place a block here, and do that. This ensures that only, well, I guess it doesn't really. Okay, I think I just made this so it doesn't cross. Okay, now that I'm building this, I don't think this needs to be here, but I'm putting it here just to be safe. So now whenever we press this button, it activates the redstone rings, activates this dropper, which will push an item into this dropper, which will then have it do this. So now if I press this button, nothing happens. If I press this button, nothing happens. But if I put a dirt block in here and press this button, the game is running. And then if I press this button, the game has finished. Now, you could stop here. This is all you really need to get the game running. I would also recommend you add like a wall here so it looks a bit nicer. I haven't figured out how to move this button to a more like favorable spot. But now that pretty much finishes all of that. So I'm going to put all these items back now. Alright, now you'll notice that I have like all of this up here and then the bell here, and it makes it like sound like really nice whenever I run the game. So if I were to put this in here, you can hear the note blocks up here, and then the game's finished. I won some oak planks. Yippee. I turned dirt into oak planks. We like gambling. Anyways. Don't need that. So for that setup, we are going to need 10 more redstone dust, in addition, a redstone torch, either 6 blocks of emerald or 6 blocks of iron. I prefer the iron, but emerald also sounds alright. 1 bell, 6 no blocks, 6 repeaters, an extra sticky piston, an observer, a piece of glass, and then the 64 blocks of a stack of blocks of your choice. Okay, so we're gonna connect this like redstone line with this up here. So that's the first step. So to keep things compact, we use a transparent block. If you don't want to use glass, you can use a slab. And that'll connect stuff with the roof. Now, we take the blocks of our choice. I just really like using oak planks. I know people who are better at redstone than I am use wool, which is mainly just to keep stuff organized. But we're gonna build this nice roof area right now. We're gonna make sure we don't put a block that disconnects it. And what I like to do is put some overlap. Gonna build this roof area, which is what you saw on the other build. You just need enough space to run note blocks. Okay, I think that's enough space for me to run note blocks. Okay, so now that we have redstone that's connected to the roof area, we're gonna place 2 more redstone pieces like that connected to a redstone torch, which is connected to a piston, yada yada. So we're gonna just do this, and we're gonna have an observer here. Now the observer is here to start the redstone chain, so we're gonna place this block here. Now I have tried locking repeaters, and there's a really specific, if you stop the game at a really specific time, the whole system will just break. Anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna place a piece of redstone dust here, and we're gonna place a repeater and then block. Now for this block specifically though, we're gonna place a sticky piston. And then we're gonna make a turn, so right here, repeater, click it once to where the torch is in the second position. So that's second, third, fourth, first. So we want this position. It makes it just sounds nicer. Block. And then redstone dust. Repeater. Block. This has to be either iron or emerald or just any block of your choosing. Depends on what you like. I just really like the sound for this. And then dust. Repeater. Block. Dust. Repeater. Block. Dust. Repeater. And then we make the circle. So now we're going to place no blocks on all of them. This is the first no block is going to tick. But based on my testing over there, I think I'd like to tune this one first this time. So we're going to leave this alone. Click this once, twice, 1, 2, 3, 3 times, 4 times, and then 5 times. This will get us a nice chromatic scale up, and then it resets. And then what I like to do is just run this a couple of times. Okay, I think that's actually good enough for me. Okay, so now when the redstone disconnects, the observer will see it and it'll ping this once. So this is because if we have it keep going, it's just gonna run through once and then it's just not gonna work. So now we're gonna place this block here. We're gonna place the torch here, and then we're gonna Actually, I'm gonna assume you did not grab an extra button for this. So we'll demonstrate how it works. So when it's like not powered, it runs this, and then when it gets power, it stops. So that's this. So that makes like the nice music noise up here. But if you listen closely to my other design, you would also hear like a huge dong. One bell. It is not that hard. This part might be complicated. This part might be complicated, but please do not mess this part up. It is just one dust and a bell, and that'll do it. Now we can go gambling. Put a bell in here. And then stop the game. I won nothing. Gambling pays off. Anyways, so as you can see, like this is successfully deactivated. All of this is turned on. And now, what did I put in there? Now there's a random bell in here somewhere that someone else can win. Yeah, this is fun mainly on multiplayer servers. I'm gonna build this in a random multiplayer server. Peace.